Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and got an intriguing looking puzzle here called Biscuit to try today, but we'll get to that in a moment. I do want to mention the two Sudoku hunts on Patreon. Now, one of them is free, and that is the remarkable murder mystery called Cracking the Case of the Roman Tragedy that Alison No Feet McGee sent us. Fantastic puzzle, both in terms of Sudoku and a murder mystery to unravel. And if you send us the right instruction, look at the Patreon post. It is free. Anybody can look at that. We are obviously grateful if you support us on Patreon, but that one is free. And if you just look on our Patreon page, you will find it. Do send us the solution. We will be picking out a winner at the end of the month on the 31st. Now, before that, on the 20th, we'll be closing Jovial's extraordinary extravaganza of Sudokus. She's created an amazing set of 20 puzzles, and we have had hundreds of entries. We will be closing that competition on the 20th. The winner of that will win the incredible Sudoku cushion created by Amita that we have shown a few times and is on our Twitter feed. So always worth checking this stuff out. That is for patrons who are paying $2 or more a month, which is not a lot really for 20 brilliant puzzles. Even our apps aren't very much, about the same rate for 100 puzzles, and they're all available on the link under the video. I mean, you literally can't beat value like that. Do give it a try. But also give this a try. This is the first link under the video in the description field, and this puzzle is Biscuit by Jakob. Now, I know nothing about this. I know not why it's called Biscuit, why it has apparent thermos spelling out Z, F, G, and W. I don't know who Jakob is. We've never featured him before on him or her before on the channel. There's only one puzzle on Logic Masters Germany in that name, and it's this. Simon has done the rules, which you can possibly tell from the phrasing, and he's sent me this puzzle to try. So I'm really looking forward to it. No idea how it works. We've got quite a set of the normal variants. So we've got one killer cage here. So those two cells add up to 15. Normal Sudoku rules, obviously. We've got dots joining two cells. When a black dot joins two cells, they have a ratio of 1 to 2. When a white dot joins two cells, they're consecutive. There's no negative constraints, so not all dots are given. We've got some thermos, and they're orange, and they increase from the bulb to the end. And we've got a few grey circles and cells, which mark odd digits if they're circles and even digits if they're squares. That's what we have. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I'm going to try now. Let's get cracking. Where do we start? These two black dots, that one has to either be a 1-2 pair or a 3-6 pair, because that 4 is ruled out of the rest of the column. This one has more license. Is this about 5, 7, and 9? Because only one of them can be on the white dot. So 2 out of 5, 7, and 9 have to be up here somewhere. I don't know. That doesn't look all that helpful. Both of these thermos start C1 and 2. That's got to be helpful. And that's even, right. So 3, 4, 5, or 6 there, I reckon. 4, 5, 6, or 7. This has to be 6 or 8, because 4's too small, and it has to be even. So we get 7, 8, or 9 there. This also can't begin with 1 or 2. So there's only 2 degrees of freedom on a 5-cell thermo that can't begin with 1 or 2. And this is a run of 3 cells, so they can't be 7, 8, and 9, or that would break. And they can't be 6, 7, and 8, because those would still break. You'd have to have 5 cells, each containing 6, 7, 8, and 9, which are only 4 digits. So, although this is on the end of a thermo, it can't be as high as... Oh, I suppose it could be. Well, it can't be 9 or 8. Well, okay, but this can't be 1. So, can this be 8? No, 8, 7, 6 won't work. No, it can't. So, not 6 there. 3, 4, 5, 6 there. 4, 5, 6 or 7 on the end. And this is a run. Oh, hang on. Look at the... Yeah, okay. I'm going to count even cells in this middle row, and I'm going to find something interesting here. We've got 2 even cells there at least in box 4. Now here, these are consecutive. We've got at least 1 even cell there, and that's 3 used up. Could be more, let's put it that way. But here, we have to have at least 1 even cell, because if they were all odd, we'd be using 6 odd digits in the box, and that's too many. There's only 5 odd digits in Sudoku. So, minimum 2 even cells here, minimum 1 even cell here, minimum 1 even cell here. That is all the even cells in the row. So that is even. We have to keep this down to the minimum. The 2 digits adjoining it are odd. That's odd. Those are even. Can't really sketch it in here, but there's 1 even and 2 odds here, and in fact, therefore, all of those are odd, even, while all of those are obviously odd because they're circles. Right. So this, it can't be 4, it can't be 2 because that couldn't touch that. So it's 6 or 8, and that is a pair. So that's not 8. In fact, this 6 or 8, that is odd, so it's 5 or 7. Whether it's 6 or 8, it is flanked by a 7, isn't it? It's either 5 and 7 or 7 and 9 around it. And therefore that can't be 7. That is a 9. And that's not a 9 now, so it is 5 and 7 around a 6, and that makes this 8. Now we have 5 or 7 here, so we can, and we've got 6 here, so we can take out 5 and 6. We can take out 5 from here. Black dot with no 4 or 6 on it. I know what that contains, 1 and 2. Can't be 4, 8 or 2, 4 because of that. Can't be 3, 6 because of that. That's all that's left. Now this is either 4, 8 or 3, 6 and forms a virtual 3, 4 pair with that. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Does this thermo help? Not really. 3 or 4 there. 4, 5, 6, no, not barely helps at all. Oh, but look, that 2, sorry, is looking at that. So that's a 3, that's a 4. That can't be 4, that can't be 5. 5, 6, 7, 4, 3. That's not a 7 anymore. Oh, look, 1 is in one of those cells. Therefore, it's in one of these. Therefore, these circles can only be from 3, 5, 7, and 9. I think that's right. That can't be 3 or 4 anymore. Oh, it's like things are popping. There's a 5, 6, 7 triple. Things are popping all over the place. So that can't be a 5. It's part of a 2, 3, 4 set. That one's even. Now, what's going on in this row? Not sure. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm missing something here. What's going on here? Oh, 3 must be in those cells. Yeah, it doesn't appear anywhere else in the row. So 3 is in those cells. So these can't have a 3 in. Now look, that can't be 7 for a beautiful reason, because on the thermo that would make this a 9, and then you couldn't fill those. Once that's 7 and that's 9, they can't both be 5. So that's not 7. And this can't be 6 now. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, but now I've got a 5, 6 pair. So that's a 7 on the Z. Doesn't resolve the 2, 3, 4. That can't be 7 though. Does that mean one of these definitely is? Yes, because that's a 5, 7, 9 triple. And that was obvious, I suppose, anyway. Right. 7, 1, 4, 3. These are from 2, 6, and 8. This I don't know about. We've still got 5, 7, 8, and 9 to park in column 5, and one of those two is a 5. But that could still be a 5 because we don't know how those work. Yeah, that's true. Now, do I know? Yes, this doesn't have a 4 in it, so that's a 3, 6 pair. I do know something about that. So 3 is now down here somewhere, but it's not in the 15 cage because we can't put a 12 in there. So that must be a 3, 2 pair. Can't be 3, 4 because of that. This is 1 or 4. Now I've got these and a 2 or 3 there. So if that's a 2, then these are 4, 8, 3, and 6. But if it's a 3, they are 4, 8, and 1 and 2. So one of them is 4, 8. So that's not an 8. It's not actually as helpful as I thought. Sorry. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 there. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9, just because it's in a 15 cage. So 1 is in one of these two cells and not here. Strange, but true. So there's a little weird 2, 8, 9 triple in the row, in the box, I mean. And I don't know what that means either. 2, 3. So 2 can't be there either. So in fact, that is a 2. 6, 4, 2, 2. Okay. That's not a 2. Now we've got a 3, 4 pair. This is such a strange puzzle, the way it bounces around all over the place. Deductions in one area kind of force logic in another and then come back on themselves. A bit Tiggerish. Now we've had a 4 there and a 2 there. This is 6 or 8. Now we've got a 2, 6, 8 triple, so there's no 2 here, which was obvious once I put the 2 there. Let's remove the corner marks. Now, what about these? Is there a way of knowing that one of them is not 4, 8? That would be useful. Now, how about this? It's not got 1, 2, 3, or 6 on it. So its even digit, and it must have one, is either a 4 or an 8. But it can't be 8, 9. And it can't be 4, 3. So it's either 4, 5 or 7, 8. Whichever one it is forms a 5, 7 virtual pair with that. So this can't be 7. Is that all I get from that? Doesn't have to form an 8 pair, no. No, I haven't really looked at this 6-cell thermo at all. That's most unlike me. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Oh, hang on, 2. That can't be a 2 because it's the 3rd cell on a thermo. So 2's in one of those positions. Sorry if I'm missing something here. Let's have a look at this. What if this was 1, 2. It cannot be 1, 2. That's quite interesting, because that would be 3, 2, 1, clashing with 1, 2. So, can it be 3, 6? Yes. Because that would go 2, 3, 4. And the alternative is that it's 4, 8, which goes 1, 2, 3. That's not got a common digit on the white dot as I'd hoped. Okay, so I still need a little breakthrough. Right, 2 and 2. One of these is a 2. How about that? Can I rule it out of here? Don't think so. Ah, hang on though. It can't be 2, 1. So if that is a 2, that would be a 4. And that would make this a 3, 6 pair and this impossible. Bingo. So that is not a 2. So we get a 2 here. That's probably not a complete breakthrough, sorry. Now similarly, I can't rule 2 out of here, can I? Or can I? This is now 4, 8 or 3, 6. Can I rule 2 out of here? If this was 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, that's not possible. If it was 2, 4, that would be 3, 6, and that would be impossible. So there is no 2 here. So this is also 3, 6 or 4, 8, and we have a quadruple. Wow, that is clever. I don't know if that's intentional or if I'm missing something else, but that works really well. Neither of those ended up being able to have a 2 in at all. 3, 4, 6, 8, 2. So we've got 1, 5 and 7, 9 to place. 2, 3 there. That makes this a 4 now. So now we know this isn't 4, 8 and that's not 3, 6. There's a 4 in there. So this is a 5, 6. That can't be 6. 7, 9, 5, 2. So we've got 1 and 6 to place in column 2 somewhere. 6 in column 1 has to be in one of those 2 cells, and that is not a 6. Oh, well, it's not since we put a 6 there. That's a 5, so that's a 9. So this is a 5, 7 pair. That's a 6 now, so 8 and 9 are resolved. They're not 9, nor's that. That's on a thermo, so that's not 8. What does this tell us? That's a 4, 5, 7, 8 quadruple. So we put 9 in there, 8 there. Now this isn't 8, 7. That's a 4, 5 pair. Yes, and we are off and running now, surely. That can't be 8. This is a 5, 7 pair, so that's 8. This is now 1, 9 as a pair. That has to be 6, which deals with the cage. 4, 8, 2, 3, 6. Okay, it doesn't finish that stuff off. That's not 4. Not a 4. This doesn't end in 9 or 8 now. That's very helpful, right? So there's only 2 degrees of freedom. Certainly worth pencil marking this, especially as there's no 4 down this strut of the G. So that is a 5. That's 3, 2, 1. This is 6 and 7. We have a 4, 8, 9 triple down the final column. We must have solved lots of these cells now. That's not a 1. That is 3, 6. That is fixed. Hang on. There's some problem has cropped up here. I thought it was 3, 6 because of that 6 up there. But if this is right and that 4 is right, that 4 is not right. Let us go back a bit to when I was pencil marking this thermo in all my joy and happiness. I was okay up to here, but this was a very poor conclusion because that doesn't have to be a sequence. That can come back down to 2. Well, let's go all the way back to where I've marked that as a 4, which was the error. And my apologies for that error. I have been caught out. That's what you always hope will happen when I make an error. So 3 there. I shouldn't ever have even marked this as 1 or 4 because it could be a 2. In fact, let's go all the way back to where I marked that as 1 or 4 and let's see if the logic still works if I mark it correctly. This is very embarrassing, but there we go. Sometimes happens. And we do live solves, so this sort of thing can occur. Here we go. So I put this in thinking it was the end of a sequence, but no, it can be a repeat of that. So it can be anything from 1, 2, 3, or 4. Wow, okay, I really messed up there. So let's go back to this. This was, well, these are obviously 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, I then concluded, I'm just not sure if I relied on this being 1 or 4 when I was thinking about these black dots, and I think that's a potential problem. So let's just think about this again. My sincere apologies for this. It's an utter mess. Now, 1 is still in one of those cells, so it's not there. It is over here. 1, 2, 3. This has to have a 4 or an 8 on it. This was still right. It has to be 4, 5. Why didn't I think it could be 8, 9? Had I filled in something here? 4, 3, 6, 5. Yes, this can't be a 2. That is 8 or 9. That's right. This was 2. That's all good. This can't be 8, 9. So it's either 8, 7 or 4, 5. Forming a virtual 7 or 5 with that. So that can't be 7. Now, it's about at this point I start looking at this and thinking, can there be a 2 on any of these? That was the big question, wasn't it? So, no, that was because I found that this was a 2. Okay, so let's keep going with that. Yes, once that's a 2, that is a 2. Right, so now I need a 2 in one of those positions. Can this be a 2? Well, it can't go 2, 1 because of that. If it was 2, 4, you'd have 3 here, and this couldn't be filled. So no, that's not a 2. This is a 2, and that can't have a 2 on it. Therefore, it's either 3, 6, or 4, 8. Now, I was then wondering whether this can have a 2 on it, and this is where the questions started arising. If this does have a 2 on it, that's a 3, that's 4, 8. This must be 2, 1. With a 3 there, 2 there, that could be a 3. So my whole conclusion that that couldn't have a 2 on it is bogus. Right. That's embarrassing. Okay, but anyway, here we are again. Let's see if we can make some progress. And I might well have forgotten something that I could do before. So 4 is in a pair there, 2's there. That is 6 or 8. But this has not been reduced as it had been before. Let's fully pencil mark this time. Oh, the embarrassment has all been swallowed up already. So there we go. That's better. Now, what about this? If it was involving a 2, 2, 4 would make that 3, 6 and would make this impossible. So it's not 2, 4. So it's either part of a 3, 4, 6, 8 quad with that, or it's 1, 2. Yeah, but it certainly could be. Right, so I am very little further forward, but I'm doing this properly now. So those are bigger than 4. 3, 6, 4, 2. That can't be 6 because of the 3, 6 pair up here. So that's a 5, 7, 8 triple. So this is a 1, 9 pair down here. Interesting. So that's not 9 and that's not 6. 9 is not in those either. And that's a 5, 7, 8 triple, so that's a 6. Okay. 6, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. If that's 4, 5, that's 8 or 9. If it's 7, 8, that's a 4. So it's from 4, 8, or 9. Now we've got a 9 here, so that's not a 9. So we're certainly not finished. 1 there means 1 is in one of these cells. Didn't I do something with 6 at some point over here? 1 is in one of those. Oh, I think that's when I reached the conclusion that this was a 6, but that was by the bogus assumption based here. Okay. 7, 9, 2, 1. Oh, 2 is in one of those two places, so it's not there. It's going to be all about this black dot still. Isn't it? I'm not sure. Maybe I've got some sort of quad or triple reaching down. That 3, 4 pair feels more interesting than I've managed to use. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe this would be difficult to be high. So if that was 8, you'd have 9 here, 4 here, and an impossible 5, 7. So that's not 8. So now we've got a 5, 7 pair. That is 8, therefore. And that gives us 9 on the end of the thermo. It gives us 8 here. Now this isn't an 8, 7 pair. That was quite useful. So that's become 9. 4, 5, 9. This is 7 and 8. That's 5. Sorry, that's 5. 7 there. These don't have an 8 in. They are a 5, 7 pair. Has that done anything for this black dot? No. No, it absolutely hasn't. That 8 hasn't resolved. 8 is not in those two cells, so it is here. That seems to have to be a 6 now, because that's not a 9. Yeah, we've got a 5, 7 pair. That is a 6. That's a 5. This is not a 6, and that's not a 3. That 8 cannot be in that cell. This has become a 9, so this has worked after all. This can't be a 9, therefore we're down to 1 degree of freedom all along this thermo. And I think, based on what we did before, that is going to give us something down here. Oh no, that was when, right. Okay. So what digit is missing this column? 8 is missing. None of these can be an 8. So 8 is here. There we go. Wow. Okay, well I was really messing up before, but now we're back on track. 2, 3, not a 4 here. 2. And we should be okay. The only place for a 1 in this column is here. That's a 6. That makes this a 5. That takes it all the way back down the thermo. Those can't be 1 or 2. They're a 3, 4 pair. That 7 and 5 have been resolved. So we've got all the original given circles and squares. That's a 3 now. 1, 2, 9, 3, 8, 4. 5 or 7 there. 5, 6 or 7 here. That's not a 2. Right. 709. This is a naked single 6, in fact, given what it can see in the row and the box. That's where 1 goes, not there. And we have a 4, 5 that can be filled in as well. That makes this a 5. The 4 makes that a 3. This W thermo becomes 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. That's all right. We've got a 3, 8 pair there. This has become a 7. 8, 9 pair there. That's been resolved as 4, 5. So we've got 3 down here and a 1, 7 pair, which fixes this as 5 and 6. Oh, dear me. What a bad piece of pencil marking that was early on. I've been fooled by that before. These white dots going round a corner through a box boundary, and I was fooled again today. 2, 6 there. 9 and 7, but at least, you know, this is one of those answers for people who say Mark does guesses and they turn out all right. I do sometimes make errors that are effective guesses, it's true, but sometimes they come back and bite me in the backside, like today. So that was a bad biscuit from my point of view, but a very clever puzzle by Jakob. Very interesting. We'll see what else Jakob produces in the future. I enjoyed that. I don't really know what it was all about or why it was biscuit or how he came up with it, but it really turned into some interesting logic. I hope you had a go at it. Probably did better than I did, especially if you avoided that trap, and well done. I'll see you on the channel again soon, I hope. Bye for now.